Hello and welcome to the News by Standards. Death threats sent to pupils who damaged a copy of the Quran at a school have been condemned by an education minister as totally unacceptable. West Yorkshire Police said officers had spoken to a child alleged to have made threats and given words of advice. The cover of the Islamic text was torn and some pages marked when it was brought into Kettlethorpe High School in Wakefield last month. Home Secretary Suella Braverman has spoken of deep concern over the case. 4 students were suspended as a result of the incident. A Year 10 student brought the Islamic text to school on the 23rd of February, reportedly as part of a dare. The boy's mother, who said he is 14 and has high-functioning autism, said he had received death threats over the incident. Police said they have investigated a report of a malicious communications offence. A Force spokesperson added, a suspect was identified who was also a child, and they were given words of advice by an officer. The Force added they recorded the damage done to the religious text as a hate incident, but officers were satisfied no criminal offences were committed. Officers were conducting additional reassurance patrols in the area of the school, police said. Ministers for Schools Nick Gibbs said his department was working with the school. He said, "My first priority is always the well-being of children and young people. The death threats reportedly issued against the pupils are totally unacceptable. There is no blasphemy law in this country, and schools should be promoting the fundamental British values of respect for rule of law, individual liberty and tolerance of those with different faiths and beliefs." Mr. Gibb added that the Department for Education was working closely with the school and he would be writing to its head teacher and the local authority to offer his support. "Our guidance for schools on how to manage suspensions is clear, stating that all decisions should be reasonable, fair and proportionate," he said. Mr. Gibbs' comments followed a meeting held at the school with community leaders, during which the pupil's mother claimed death threats had been made against her son. In a video recording posted online, she said she had been left absolutely petrified following the incident involving the Quran. Kettlethorpe High School's head teacher, Tudor Griffiths, said, "We would like to reassure all our community that the holy book remains fully intact and that our initial inquiries indicate there was no malicious intent by those involved. However, we have made it very clear that their actions did not treat the Quran with the respect it should have, so those involved have been suspended and we will be working with them to ensure they understand why their actions were unacceptable." Ms. Braverman says the case raises broader issues about free speech. She has promised to work with education officials on new guidance for schools to make clear that teachers do not have to answer to self-appointed community activists. Writing in the Times, Ms. Braverman said, "We do not have blasphemy laws in Great Britain and must not be complicit in the attempts to impose them on this country. There is no right not to be offended. There is no legal obligation to be reverent towards any religion." The Home Secretary said respect for freedom of speech was going in the wrong direction and Islam should not expect a special status to protect the religion from disrespect. She added, "It is high time for leaders, real leaders, not self-appointed hotheads, to stand up for our free society. It is this country's sacred promise to everyone who lives here, whatever their background. Every organisation that answers to me as Home Secretary will be in no doubt of where I stand."